Hello and welcome to The Last Video Store, the podcast where we talk about people's favorite films. Joining me on the show this week, we've got the supremely talented, super freaking funny Elouise Eftos. Elouise is one of the funniest freaking comedians around right now and one of the best comedic actors. You've seen her pop up in Bump. You've seen her pop up in freaking Colin from Accounts. And she just won a big Director's Choice Award at the Sydney Comedy Festival. She's going to be touring that show a bunch next year. So we just saw the encore of it and it's freaking hysterical. So check out Elouise. Find her on Instagram. She's always putting really funny videos up of her stand-up on Insta and so much cool shit. I'm obsessed with Elouise. And after all, we do share a heritage and a love of film. So I'm excited to get her in to talk about her favorite movies. And I want to give a little shout out. If you give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, leave us a comment on YouTube and like in your review or whatever, tell us what you would want your rental combo to be. Like Elouise, a new release film, 2 weeklies, and then I will give you a staff pick recommendation. And we've got a review right now that I'm going to give a recommendation to Off the Freaking Dome at the start of the episode. Producer Alex, can you read me our latest review?
Absolutely, Alexis. This comes from Dapper Dan 95.
Oh, Dapper Dan, Dapper Man.
He says, great movie podcast.
Thank you.
Don't know why it's taken me so long to leave a review because this has been an instant favorite of mine.
Wow. Thank you, Dan.
Alexi is just so effortlessly charming
Wow.
and is one of the greatest film thinkers of their generation.
Let me tell you, Dan, there is a lot of effort to sound and look and smell this cool.
Would love a staff pick when you can. Recent release would be Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves.
Fun movie, yes.
And 2 weeklies would be Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
Oh, I love that. One of my favorite movies. Yes.
And Everybody Wants Some.
Oh, Richard Linklater. Okay, I'm going to jump off mainly Dungeons & Dragons. The film that I think it feels most like is Willow. If you've never seen the 1980s Warwick Davis, great fun fantasy adventure film, Val Kilmer. I love Willow. I reckon check it out. If you've never seen Willow, it's a lot of fun. And I think a lot of that shared DNA goes into Dungeons & Dragons. So please watch Willow. My recommendation to you. Now let's get into Elouise's chat where we'll do the same thing but over a longer time. Jesus, so it's okay. Let me put a hold on Showgirls right now. Only one person's going to rent it.
I'm the only one that's allowed to rent it because I'm the only one who can talk about it with love. And I've seen the doco about it too.
Okay, we've seen the doco. What's the doco called?
Me.
You Don't Know Me.
Get it? Nomi.
Exactly. It's the name of the lead character from the film. And it's about the film's legacy and reputation as a stinker that's actually good.
There's a lot to talk about.
Oh, well, it's one of the great movies, and we're joined here by one of the greats of our time.
Wow.
And someone that I've just heard from a little bird that once did serve behind the counter.
I actually did. Yasu Alexi.
Yasu tikanis.
Kalaisi.
Pulikala. Harka puseida. Look at us. In our mother tongue
That's
right
so
now.
hard.
That was
Look how
really
hard
cool.
that was.
I pray that everyone understood what we said. And if
I think
not,
everyone didn't, and if they didn't, I kind of like that.
it's a secret message in there. We got a
English is
secret
dead.
Hellenic message in there for you.
If anything, I'm a bit like, I should be talking about Yorgos Lanthimos on this
Oh,
podcast.
a famous Greek director.
Another time. But
Another
I used
time.
to work at a video. That was like my dream.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a big film buff.
You're a film
like
bump.
you. Bump.
Yeah, you're a film
I'm a film
bump.
bump.
Yeah.
No, buff. I'm a bit of a
Yes.
film buff. I
It's
studied
true.
film.
Yes.
But before was it before or just like in between?
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a video store, Roxy Video in Cottesloe.
Oh my gosh.
It was called Roxy Video.
Was it a mum and pop or was it like
It
a
was a
little
little
chain?
bit of like a little, like I think it might have been a chain, but like very small one. We're not talking Blockbuster. We're not talking Video Easy.
Yeah.
We're talking Roxy Video.
Roxy Video.
It was a little bit giving. I felt like I was in Empire Records. That was the dream: work at a record
Yes.
store or work at a video store. It's kind of like one of the hottest jobs you can have.
Absolutely.
As a like teenager going into, I was probably in my maybe I was like 19, like
As an
20.
artistic teen, it's like a cool job, right?
The coolest
Especially
thing
in
you
that
could
era.
do. Don't you reckon? Did you ever
Well, that's
work
why
at
I'm
one?
still doing it now. That's
Well, you
why,
are, babe.
you know,
Sorry. Oh my God.
I'm
yeah,
reliving.
you're actually doing it
I'm
right
reliving
now.
it. No, I did work at one as a teenager.
Of course you did. It'd be weird if you didn't.
It would be really weird.
It'd be actually a bit weird.
It would be like, this guy's lying about himself.
If you said to me, I've never worked at one, I go, why are you pretending that you know film?
I'm
and
not a
that you-
pretender. I'm an authentic. I'm an authentic.
You're real.
I'm real.
I'm real. That's you singing that.
That's me, dude.
That's you.
That's it. That's me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me about the store you worked at.
It was very small and it was kind of like in a shopping center, like but a tiny, tiny shopping complex. Like
Oh my
tiny,
God, like a
tiny.
Strand Arcades.
Like almost like, yes.
Wow.
It was almost like a little arcade and the owner, my boss, was a fucking weirdo, but they have to be a bit.
You have to be a little bit strange
Have
to
to be
work
a little
in this
bit
realm.
strange, this man. Like, I wasn't strange, but I remember working for this man and he was a bit like, well, like a bit sporadic.
Oh my
I remember
God.
getting
He's half frog.
Yeah.
Good Lord. No
He
wonder
was
he's strange.
half frog, and that was a bit much. That was a bit much having to work
It's
for a
too
half
much
frog.
to be even half frog is too much. Maybe 1/3, 1/4, then we can do business.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
half frog,
Half frog, whoa, whoa, woo, wah.
God, call me racist, but I think that's weird.
It turns out he was just French.
Okay,
I
well, I
love
guess
the
I'm
French,
racist.
and I love French films. I
And
just wanna
absolutely,
say
and I
that.
love French food. I love frogs.
I love them.
Frogs,
I
one of
love
my
eating them,
favorite
though.
amphibians.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I mean,
like them. I think
frogs
they're
and
cute.
salamanders, top 2 amphibians. Yeah,
I'm glad we know that now.
yeah. Now we know that.
Thank God. Thanks, listeners, for listening to that. No, but the video store was like really, I mean, obviously there was a lot of like cleaning of the disc. I remember
Oh
the
my
smell of the
gosh,
alcohol.
yes.
I remember that, like and spraying the disc and, you know, if there was scratches. I remember Tim Minchin came in once because he lived in Perth. This is
Oh
so
my
funny, Alexi, that I
gosh.
forgot to tell you.
Oh my
About this
gosh.
off mic. And now I'm telling you
Yeah,
on mic.
now we're on mic.
He
We're
was
on
like-
the record right now
On the
about Tim
record,
Minchin.
I have never met Tim Minchin outside of this, but I met him, like as in, he's a Perth boy. So
Yeah.
I almost thought I would meet him in a different scenario.
Exactly. Two of the great personalities
Yeah.
meeting each other, you know? You'd
But
think
I
it would
was
happen.
no one back then. He's going, who's this?
Yeah.
He wouldn't remember this, but
He might not have forgotten, though.
No, he.
You never know.
I hope not, because I hope that he liked. I recommended to him because
Mm-hmm.
he brought back a DVD. It was at the time of DVDs, by the way. That's
Wow.
how it was.
Well, you
DVDs
know, I
and
know how old
VHS.
you are. I don't think you're working fucking VHS era, dude. I go, yeah, she's
I'm
sticking
going,
laser
I've
discs
come
behind
right
the
from
counter.
the 90s. The way that I'm dressed, Alexi's going, did you come right from 99? I'm going,
She zoomed in from 99. She's right here.
it's a bit like giving the Jetsons, you know?
Absolutely. Judy
But-
Jetson.
Babe, please.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love that. I would love to be in a remake of that.
We're putting it out into the world right now.
I think I would love to do that.
Yes.
And it's weird that they haven't done that. Anyway, he came in to return a movie that his wife had rented. Wow. And that's a little bit giving. Is Tim Minchin a misogynist?
Wow. It's like,
No, I'm
my
kidding.
wife cannot come into the store.
He goes, my wife chose the wrong DVD.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
want to. But the way he was actually like quite nice about it. And I suggested, guess what film I suggested for him to watch? It was recently just released, so that will give away what year it was because
Okay.
I can't remember the exact year. Four Lions, the British.
Great
Do you
movie.
know that movie?
Of course I know that movie.
It is such a good
Darling,
movie.
I know every movie.
This is me going,
Yes.
do you know this movie?
Yeah, of course. Try and quiz me, dude. I know them all.
This is actually me
Four
sitting
Lines.
here going, I can't believe I could say a movie and you go, yeah.
I know it. Four
this
Lines,
is-
great
you'd be
movie.
like that, saluting me.
Salute. Well, you know,
Four Lines.
you
I
s-
suggested that he did. And guess what? He didn't come back to go, I don't like this one.
Wow, he's like, I like this so much, I'm never going to return to that lovely Greek character behind the counter. So I'm keeping this one forever.
In the Akadaka top. Babe.
Wow.
Isn't it cool?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
People don't
Empire
want me to
Records,
be,
eat your
babe,
heart out.
Empire Records, eat your heart out. It's like, never met a girl like. Anyway.
Oh, Edwin Collins,
Mm-hmm.
famously used on the Charlie's Angels soundtrack.
Yes,
When
one
they're
of the best
going thing
soundtracks
to
of all
thing.
time.
I had it on
Which is
CD.
also in my recent comedy show, award-winning.
Award-winning Best Director's Choice at the Sydney
At the
Comedy
Sydney Comedy
Festival.
Festival. Sorry to
Director's
say, I'm
pick.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
No, feel no shame. I know that you're quivering and you're blushing,
I'm
so
blushing
much.
and I'm crying. I'm going,
Oh,
so
I'm
embarrassed
sorry that I
to
brought
talk
it up.
about
I'm sorry I brought it up. But, you know, we must pay your accolades.
Just quickly saying that, like, I use a lot of music in my, and they're from movies,
Of course.
notably Charlie's Angels, like Never Met a Girl Like You,
Yes.
Edwin Collins.
Edwin Collins.
I also use Dreamweaver.
Wow, from Wayne's
World.
World.
I also use. Well, I also do. Oh my god! I really need you to see my show.
Yeah, I'm gonna
'Cause
come
you're
see
the
your
only
show.
One, you're the only one that's going to get everything in
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I open the show with a Basic Instinct parody.
Wow.
You're going to
Okay.
go like this. Whoa.
Wow, you're gonna be okay. Finally, we've got Newman in the audience, finally sweating like you're just in the movie.
I'm going, can you actually be a plant and
Yeah,
be
can
like...
we be a plant? Can we put a light on this guy?
And you can wear a tie and a white shirt.
I wear a tie, and everything else I'll just wear as normal. Just be as me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and of course you do a bit of Austin Powers in there.
Babe, a bit of
Fembot.
Austin Powers. How could you forget? I do
How
the
could I forget?
Fembot. I do the Fembot, and I also use songs. I chose these songs, and I realized they are in the Austin Powers. Some of them I knew. Like The Look of Love.
The look
of love is in your eyes.
Wow. Oh
Whoa.
my God. Macy Gray just walked through the world right now. Good Lord.
So that's the Dusty Springfield version, which is in Austin Powers.
Yes.
And that is what I don't want to give it away, but in my...
Of course.
And then I also use the song Let's Get It On, and that's also in Austin
Wow.
Powers.
Okay.
So I'm a
far
bit
out.
obsessed with Austin Powers.
Well, as am I. He's my hero.
I know, he is your hero.
He's my hero. He's my hero. But you and I think we have very similar tastes.
We do have very similar tastes. Also, can I quickly say one more movie?
You can quickly say.
I
Only if it's quick.
I'm going, Alexi, we
The
haven't got
time is
time.
ticking. The time is ticking.
I'm going, in taxi, pame. Okay, so you know where basically the parody is inspired by Casino Royale with Peter Sellers.
Yes,
Have you seen this
of course.
movie?
I've seen it.
I had it on
Yes.
DVD as well.
Wow.
People don't want me to be...
That was way quicker than I thought it would be.
People don't want me to be a movie buff of these many films. They don't want me to be that.
They go, you must only like chick movies.
That's what they think.
But instead,
they go, you
she
must
knows
only know
everything.
Mean Girls or Legally Blonde, two great films.
Yeah.
I actually know the most of them.
It's true. It's
I
true.
love
She
them.
passed on the test.
I go, yep. I go, bing, like that. I'm going David Lynch. I'm going Tarantino.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going, babe.
Two of the biggest nerds out there in the world. And she's a fan of them.
And I'm a fan of them. And I'm also going, get me in one of those.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Get me in with one of those.
Get me in with one of those. I would love to see you up on a David Lynch film.
Can you imagine that?
That would be very exciting.
That would be the best day.
I'm like, wow, we're exploring the fucked up nature of American suburbia. And hang on a sec, Elouise is here?
Elouise Eftos?
Wow.
Yes, it is. And I'm like
Wow.
this, and I look at the camera and I break the fourth wall and I go, yes, Alexi, it's
Yeah.
me.
You're probably wondering how I got cast in this thing.
That's a movie.
Well, Elouise, I've been dying to talk to you about film.
Thank God you got me on then. I don't want you to die.
I was so close to doing it. I'll go, if Elouise doesn't get on the podcast soon, I will be taking my
I'm
own life.
so-
And I'll be taking a few people with me. That's my plan. I'm
don't
taking
do
a
that.
few. Yes.
Don't do that.
I'm trying to start a cult where we all die one day.
We should actually make like a cult film
Absolutely.
cult.
Yeah, that's it. And we all watch movies together.
I know that you're
And
in
then when
it.
we complete the 1001 movies you must see before you die, you know what happens
Guess
next.
what, babe? That's a bit
I think it's pretty
Manson. That's a
good.
bit. I like that.
I mean, we've got a few years. Like 1001 movies
who's
is
in
quite
the
some
cult?
time.
It's like you. I reckon Cam James is in it.
We got Cam James in it.
I'm in it.
You're in it. Sam Campbell come
Sam
along.
Campbell can
He
be
loves
in it. This is me.
movies.
He can be in it,
He
like
can be
that.
in it. Who else we casting? We've got a
This
lot
is
of
me
movie
going,
lovers out
God,
there.
we've got a few movie lovers. Write in if you'd like to be in the cult.
And we should all die. Anyway,
New release.
let us get into our choices. We've got
Wow.
your new release title here. This is also one of my favorite movies in the last couple of
How
years.
good was this?
This was extremely good to answer your question. We're talking about Anatomy of a Fall.
Or Anatomy d'une chute.
D'une
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
D'une chute. It's
D'une
French.
chute.
It's French.
Oh, wow. Get that frog fella back here to do some translating for us.
Crime.
I have to say, love a French film.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. Je ne sais
Je
quoi.
ne sais quoi.
There was a certain je ne sais quoi about them.
Yeah, a little bit of a je ne sais quoi about
I would
them.
say so.
Sacre
What was
bleu.
the je ne sais quoi that made you go sacre bleu when you saw Anatomy of a Fall?
To make me say bonjour like that.
Bonjour.
To me, bonjour. I'm not saying merde. I'm saying the
No.
opposite of that. I'm saying bon.
Bon.
Is that
bon.
what I'm saying?
Oui, oui.
I'm saying très bien. Wow.
Wow. My God. Multilingual.
I'm going c'est magnifique.
Wow. Okay.
People don't want me to know French, but I
But she
do.
knows it. She
My
knows it.
name is French, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's spelled
Elouise.
Greek, but it's spelled Greek.
Oh.
My parents put a U in it. Did you know that?
Whoa. I did know that. I assumed it was them that did it.
You're like, I thought it was them. No, okay. Anatomy of a Fall. I'm surprised you haven't had anyone speak
I know.
speak on it yet. But
You're the first to speak on it.
I'm the first to speak on it. There's so
You're the
many
first to
films
rent it out.
over. Yeah, the first to rent it out. I'm going honored. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm going,
gorgeous.
yeah, I
It's-
guess I
Yeah. Wow,
high
wow,
achiever
wow.
there. There's something about this movie where I went in not with low expectations. I think I kind of went in trying not to know too much about it because it was getting a little bit of hype.
It was getting buzzed.
It was getting buzzed, and I think it is. Like calling it is one of the most captivating courtroom dramas I've ever seen.
I agree with you.
It is so easy to watch and you can't look away. It was done like it's quite perfect the way they did it. Even like Sandra, how do you say her last name?
Sandra Hula?
Hula?
Sandra Hula?
I like that.
Me too. I love it. And she's just
incredible.
Très bien. Magnifique.
She learnt French for the film, even though she didn't really want to.
She didn't really have to either. You know, you can learn things phonetically.
I think also you
like how I
can.
did with all those words that we've said.
But going, wow, you're fluent.
I'm fluent.
I love
It is just phonetically learned.
Yeah.
I think she's spectacular in this movie to say it in English this time.
Yeah, it's incredible. Say it in English now, I guess.
Spectacular.
Magnificent in English.
Magnificent, excellent,
In-
very Ben. She's
Yeah.
very Ben in this movie.
Yeah.
But I think I love that performance because it's just like, it captures like this perfect intellectuality of it all.
Yes.
But then it's like that crumbling of the emotional nature in her
Yeah.
performance. It's very multi-layered, multi-textured. But I love what you said. It's a captivating courtroom drama like no
Yes.
other.
Yes.
Because looking at this French system of courtroom, you're like, what the fuck is
What the
going on?
hell is going
They're allowed to
on?
speculate and stuff
They're
in this
going
shit.
la la la.
Yeah, they're like,
That guy
okay, let
that
me
plays
read
the
you some of his
defense-
novel where he says some crazy shit in his novel that he wrote.
It's like crazy the way that they
Mm-hmm.
go about it, and even the fact that like, I don't know, I really just loved the idea that she didn't know if her character was innocent or
Mm.
not, and that you can see it in her performance, almost like she's trying to defend herself, but she's almost like, I don't know if she even knows, and that's almost what when you're watching it, you're like, what is real, what is not? Even the little boy.
He is
Oh my
fantastic.
God, fantastic.
One of the great child actor performances.
Incredible. It's giving a little bit The Shining.
Oh yeah,
He's like got the same kind of hair.
he's got those bangs.
He's got those bangs.
Those-
When you get a kid with those bangs in,
you know you've got a
good-
crazy child actor. If you've got a kid with bangs.
Got a kid with bangs, you got a great child actor on your hands.
And dare I say, they might even, both of these performances, be trumped by, I think, the breakout
say.
star of this
Of the
film.
dog.
The dog is
That
incredible.
dog, babe,
it's
so
one of the great dog performances up there with The Thing. You know, I think it's a great dog actor.
What about also the guy that plays the husband? The way they, firstly, like cinematically, like even just the way they did like the flashbacks from
Yeah.
the voice recording and playing the voice recording, but you can see the scene. Oh, it's actually like satisfying to see that you can hear the voice recording and see what the hell?
Yeah.
She's good. God, she's good.
Justin Triet, great
She's
filmmaker.
She's incredible.
And I would say, like, for me, there's this thing that this film does so uniquely, which I think enhances, like, how present tense and engrossing this film
Yes.
feels, is there are these moments where the camera almost becomes, or feels like it becomes diegetic in its
Yeah.
style. Like, it feels like you're seeing the camera from... especially the scene where I really think about it is where they're leaving the courthouse. They're kind of like on that courthouse steps vibe.
Yes,
And you're
yes.
seeing like news coverage, but what you're seeing feels like that, but
Yes.
still just a cinema camera. It's not like we've gone into it. We're not mixing
Yeah.
anything. There's just something about like it shifts slightly into a more documentary-esque verite style in these
It
moments.
does go verite. I was going to say, babe, from my film days, cinema
Absolutely.
verite.
She still has the vocabulary locked up
The
there in her
vernacular.
brain. The vernacular
Babe,
is pouring out.
Literally pouring out. It's you're right. It does have that, and that's almost it's quite captivating. Like you don't even know
You don't
that's
know.
happening.
And it's like, it's something
Yeah.
that I don't even know how to really vocalize that, but it just becomes slightly diegetic.
Yes.
Like not actually, but then what it does, it just like makes you feel very present, like very in the moment and very, it catches you like up to speed with everything in a really unique
Totally.
way. And it's just through technique, a marvelous trick, dare I say.
Very,
a marvelous
very
trick of the
marvelous.
trade.
I love a bit of trickery.
I love
I'm
that
going,
movie
trick
magic.
me a bit. I go, don't trick me all the time, but trick me a little bit.
Every now and then, use a technique to really freak me out.
freak me out. Freak me out a little bit. I'm going, go on.
And dare I say, the use of PIMP
Babe,
That's
that
crazy.
version of that song is
The
one of the best
reggaeton cover.
Beckham Rhythm Band, I have like a few of their songs saved. PIMP, Love Like This, one of their best. It's so good. I like.
Had you
literally-
known them before you sing this
Yeah.
movie? What the fuck? How did you know them?
Because I am a music nerd as well. People
Wow.
don't want me to be that, but I am.
People don't look at you and go, wow, what a fucking nerd. What a fucking
People don't
nerd.
think that I'm a nerd, but guess what? I'm the biggest nerd in
One of
the
the
whole
biggest
world.
nerds ever.
I'm actually the biggest nerd ever, and you can actually challenge me on that.
Okay, I'll challenge you. I'm going to challenge you
that
to a nerd
song-
off.
Also, let's have a nerd off.
Yeah.
Attack of the Nerds, babe.
Attack of the Nerds, dude.
But
It's actually
also-
pronounced Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge. So what am I saying?
So you got out
So I got
nerded.
that. I'm going like I'm in shot. I'm going like that. No, I was about to say revenge and I didn't say it.
Yeah, she
I'm
said
embarrassed.
attack.
I did study a bit.
Sorry,
I did
mate.
study a bit before this, but no.
She came with an encyclopedia.
I actually came. I was like, goong, like that. I went douche like that. No, but also, Alexi, the that song I think works so well. It's like almost so it doesn't fit with the setting.
No.
It doesn't fit, but that's almost why it's so. I could listen to that over and over.
Because it sounds so oppressive, like the level of volume it's being played at.
Yeah.
And in the context of the film as well, the level it's being played at within the film. It's so oppressive, but I think you nailed something in it. It's like a weird earworm that
is an earworm.
feels authentic to the character as well. Because you're like, well, why would this guy be
Why would he
obsessed with this song?
obsessed with this song? But I kind of like it because it's almost like, well, he's obviously got good music taste because I'm into it. We've obviously got similar. Me and
He's
the
got
husband
that-
actually have a lot in common.
Wow, I'm starting to get suspicious. Starting to get suspicious. Maybe
Uh-oh,
the husband
maybe
had a little
husband-
something going on.
But also, do you know that the original song they were supposed to get and they couldn't get the rights for it was Jolene?
No way. That's
That-
too on the nose, though.
But
Too
this
on
is
the nose.
exactly too on the nose.
Yeah.
Guess what I do in my show? Actually play Jolene in my show.
No.
But you'll have to see it. I'm not going to ruin it anymore.
Okay.
But there's something about too on the nose. And also, I like the idea that it's like, if it was Jolene, it's like, who's playing the song? It's like, why would the husband
Yeah.
be playing Jolene?
It's the director
It's-
playing the song in that moment. You
You know what I mean? And it's a
Yeah.
little bit with PIMP, I'm going, well, was it him? Or was it her?
Mm.
Like, there's no. Yes, it's misogynistic, but there's no lyrics. That's one of my favorite parts with like
Yeah.
the what's her name? The little, and she's going.
Yeah.
It was in French.
Instrumental version. It's the steel drum that's the main part of the song,
yeah, the
you
steel
know?
drum's actually a little bit misogynistic, maybe.
I think so.
I like it though.
Yeah, I know.
I like it. I'm not mad at it.
Wow. Okay, she's been indoctrinated by a misogynistic society, you know? That's a patriarchal
That's
society.
a patriarchy, okay? It's internalized misogyny, steel drum.
And even strong women like Elouise can still go, yeah, and I like misogyny.
I actually, you know what? I like misogyny when it's a really cool, catchy tune. If you're playing PIMP,
Yeah.
to me, I'm going, play it louder.
Play it louder. Play it till it's
If you're
deafeningly
playing
loud.
like Shake That Ass by Eminem and Nate Dogg,
Wow,
I'm going,
wow.
I like that song.
Yeah, and I
like
like
that
what it
song.
stands for.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to like
It would have
hip-hop
been more
sometimes when you don't want to be a misogynist.
It would have been more neutral if they play like Ghostbusters theme song or something like that.
That
Just
would be a
something
little
out.
bit. If they played that, I'd be laughing my head off.
You'd be like, well, there is something strange
Yeah,
going on in
there's
this
something
movie.
strange going in. Yeah, like that.
there is
That's what
something-
I'd be saying.
Yeah, exactly.
There is something strange.
It is a well-placed song. There's something strange about it.
In my neighborhood, that's what I'd be saying.
Wow. And in the neighborhood, it's just one fucking house on a big mountain.
Even that, who's living like that?
I know.
I felt sorry for the character.
Exactly.
The fact that
No
she
wonder
was
this
German,
kid's
they
a
had
loser.
to speak. Even that,
Yeah.
I love the idea that they made it that they had to speak a third language
Mm-hmm.
to communicate because she refused to speak French. She spoke German, he spoke French. They had to speak English. It's almost like it was all very disjointed. It
Mm.
was almost the whole thing of like compromise and like, look, I'm single. I know that you're in a relationship. That whole idea of like traditional roles and like the fact that she got to go out and have the career, he's suffering. It's like, I don't feel sorry for him.
No, well, he's dead. And I'm glad.
And I'm glad. That's
Yeah.
what actually. And I'm glad.
But what you said is so apt of like the way that language plays such a key role in this film.
Huge in this film.
And so much tension comes through
People
that
almost
like
hate
use
the
of
fact
language.
that she won't use French, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Well, you're living here. What you don't even try." It's like, God, like,
Come
that's-
on, grow up, man.
Grow up. I
Yeah.
also think English is dead.
Wow,
I've
controversial.
been saying it for a few years now.
Yeah, you have been. So far, been proven wrong, but I think English has a really big future.
Yeah.
But
you
I'm
think?
learning coding as well.
You are?
Yeah, I'm learning how to speak to
I thought you
communicate.
were about to be like, I'm learning
communicate
Chinese. I
directly.
go smart.
Yeah, I'm learning Chinese, but not one of the
Mandarin?
main. Not Mandarin, not Cantonese. It's a different one. Yeah.
I'm shaking. But also, like, we've got to be ready for anything.
We've got to be ready for anything. That's it. I'm trying to learn every single language.
But you know what? That would
So
actually
far, I
be
know
my
English
dream.
and Greek and a little bit
Do
of
you
French.
speak, like, how much Elinica?
Elinica?
Ligo, or like, are you fluent?
Ligo, I used to be fluent.
Babe, it's hard.
It's hard.
Can I be honest? I went back last
You
year.
can be honest. In fact, I forced you to be honest on this podcast.
I can't stop saying.
Yeah.
can
I haven't
be
been
honest?
back
It's
since
like-
I was 5 years old.
Babe, I went back last year after not being back since like 2016, and I.
That was when I last went when I was 5. I'm only 21 or something.
I'm going fair.
Yeah, I'm
You
only
look great.
16. Yeah, I look great for 16.
I was like, no wonder you got time for all these films. You just go to school and.
That's it.
I love that. I'm going. Why aren't you at school today?
It's 4 p.m. I'm
No,
finished.
yeah, it's 4
I'm finished for the day. This is my job after school. I come straight here.
You come straight. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
you come
get
here
the
to work at
bus.
the video.
Yeah, exactly. I work till 10 p.m.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, I went back to Greece last year and I was struggling. I was like, I've lost it all. And
I
they
know.
speak so fast.
They
But
speak so
Italy, I was like
fast.
this. I was like, ciao, come stai? I was like,
That's it. They got time to rest,
but
the
they-
Italians. You know?
Babe, as if the Greeks don't do
Yeah,
that.
they're-
You
no,
joking? When
they're-
I went there in August, they were all on fucking holiday.
Well,
I was
that's because they
laughing.
talk so fast. They get all their job done in like 2 hours. So
They
then
do,
they can relax.
yeah.
It's
Well,
exciting.
I also feel like Italian's much easier to learn.
Yeah.
Like I can read Greek, but like a 2-year-old, like I'm
That's it. I tell you,
slow.
if you asked me to read a page in Greek, it would take me 6 days, I reckon.
Yeah, babe, same.
It's so bad.
It's hard. It's hard, much harder. But also, do you think as well?
That Greek
is
is the
this-
future? Yes. The future is Greek. I do
Future
believe
is
that.
Greek from two Greeks on a podcast. Absolutely, you should be getting on board with that. But I also am curious. Is this a crazy question to ask? Do you think that she's innocent? Are we allowed to say?
Yeah, I
Should we
would
say it
s-
off mic?
No. I'm when I watched at the time, yes, I did think she was innocent.
Same.
And I also think every woman is allowed to kill one husband.
You know what? Agreed.
Yeah.
And also,
I think every woman
you know
gets
what?
one chance.
Everyone gets one. And you know why? Because they should. Because most men
Exactly.
are shit.
And I think it's a lot of men have killed their wives, so I think women they get a free pass at least one.
I like
if they
that.
kill
That's
two,
feminism from you.
if they kill two, rare example of feminism from me. But if they kill two, that's where I draw the line.
You're like, there's 2. You're going
Yeah.
to get out in jail like
The
that.
first one we don't even investigate. You kill one, we don't even investigate. We go, oh, okay, no problem.
You go, we don't even bother investigating.
We check-
You come in as the cop and you go,
Yeah.
how many has it been? And they go, oh, it's just one.
Just one.
One officer. And you go,
All right.
no worries. All right. We'll let
We'll
you
send
go.
the funeral home in right now. We'll send the embalmer to come in
Send
and
the
pick him up.
embalmer right now.
Yeah,
do the
put him back
brows.
together. Yeah, he splattered all over the kitchen. We'll pick him up. But I think, yeah, just one.
splattered.
But then two, if you go, hang on, there's a second one, not even a court case, they get sent straight to the
They
slammer.
get, straight
Straight to the
And they're like
slammer.
this. And they're holding up the babe. And it's
There
like
you
this
go,
going,
there.
wah, wah.
Yeah, too bad, mate. Too bad.
But also, I find it funny that the courtroom, it's like very, like, giving a lot of, like, patriarchy, giving
Mm-hmm.
a lot of internalized misogyny, giving a lot of, like, your role is to be this as a woman.
Yeah, to
So
support
they-
your man.
And the fact that
No,
he,
she
like,
should flourish.
She should-
More
yeah.
feminism from me.
Yeah, I
Women
love
should be
this.
allowed to flourish.
I can't believe this is one of the most feminist podcasts I've ever been on.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I'm
talking
proud
about
of
this.
it. I'm really proud of my feminism.
I'm proud of your
Yeah,
feminism, actually.
Thank you. And of yours too.
No, thank you.
I'm proud of yours.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
They're
your
gonna stop all
inspiration.
here, you know?
Oh, Barakalo.
But yeah, there's something very funny. That was hard to
Mm.
watch. It was like uncomfortable. I was going, is everyone okay? Like
Yeah.
almost, especially it's like very
And you
of the
talk to the
time.
movie when you're there.
I yell at it.
Yeah, you start acting in the cinema going, oh, bye.
I'm pacing
Yeah.
up and down. I'm the defense attorney. I feel like
You're playing the fucking solicitor going like, I got to get this information to them. Creating
I run
stakes in
in.
the
I
cinema.
run in. Like I've actually always wanted to do. Not a courtroom, but do an actual show like in a theater
Wow,
and make
okay.
it as if maybe it's like the Oscars, but it's like
Wow.
immersive theater. Just wanted to bring that up.
Can I tell you, this is something I've not talked about on the podcast yet,
What?
but you know the new Francis Ford Coppola movie Megalopolis?
Yes,
There's a scene in the movie.
I haven't seen it though.
No, very few people have.
Yeah,
Very
I
few
need
people
to.
have. I have seen it.
Yeah.
And guess what? It
What?
could be an IMDb credit for me. There's a scene in the movie where something happens. I won't say what happens in the film. But
Okay.
then a press conference is held.
Oh.
And there's house lights go on, and someone inside the cinema goes to a microphone and essentially asks a question from the press pit to Adam Driver's character.
You're joking.
And he responds. I did the one in Sydney, and I was the first person outside of Cannes to play this character. So I've done your dream where
Oh my God,
I've
you're
acted
actually
in a film
acting
within
in-
the cinema.
What?
Yeah, and I had to walk up
I'm
to the
so
microphone,
jealous
and I
as
had
an
to like,
actor.
oh my God, one of my greatest roles. One of my
so
greatest
proud.
roles.
I'm so impressed.
George Miller was in the room. He saw me perform.
And what did George say?
He didn't say anything, but
Our fellow Yorgo.
Yeah.
Our fellow Greek.
Exactly. Hopefully, I get to play freaking Mad Max one day.
I hope so too.
That's it.
I'll be in it.
Hey, you
I'll
got
be
two.
there.
George, you
Me
got
go-
two people in the movie. But it was...
Cast the movie for you, George. You've got all you have to do is show up with
Exactly.
the camera.
and put a script together. Heck, we might do that too.
We could do anything
Yeah.
that you need.
We would love to act in the movie.
We would love to.
Yeah.
As actors, like, we would love to do that.
We would love to. And I would tell you this, I did get some feedback.
Yeah.
Kriv Stenders, the director of Red Dog.
Oh.
He loved my performance.
He loved it.
He
Okay,
messaged
that's
me.
incredible.
That was pretty good. So I could be in
love
Red Dog
that.
3 maybe.
Isn't it nice when, like, people that are like, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like I have to tell you some trivia about
Of
who
course.
came and saw my show recently.
Show me.
It's
Tell me and show me.
I mean,
who
he's,
is it?
He's been in movies, but two of them have been in
God.
movies.
Two of them.
You're gonna laugh.
Rocky
you're gonna
and
laugh.
Bullwinkle.
I'm like this. Imagine if it was that. I'd be like, that'd actually be like amazing. I would
Yeah,
pass
a
out.
cartoon moose and a squirrel. Awesome.
Babe, imagine that. Imagine that.
I can't.
You're like, I actually can't.
I can't.
Tony Shalhoub.
Get the fuck out. Are
Tony
you
Shalhoub
serious?
came to my Sunday show of my.
What?
of
Are you
my-
serious?
I'm not joking.
Monk himself?
Monk himself. And guess what? This is so like, ooh, do 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 do. He plays the dad in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which a lot of people say
Yes.
like I'm like a modern.
You're
Mrs.
modern.
Maisel.
I was going to say that. You're like a modern Mrs.
And
Maisel.
he's the dad, and he was.
Oh my
I was like
gosh.
watching him, watching
Did
me.
he say, I got to introduce you to my daughter. She's also a comedian
I wish.
in the 1960s in New York City.
He's like in the 1960s.
Yeah.
And also Nate Wolf was there as well.
Oh my
of like the Naked
gosh.
Brothers band, and they came and watched my show, and they really liked it.
Wow. Oh my God. Tony Shalhoub.
Shalhoub. Babe, when I saw him, and I didn't think he was actually going to come because my friend is friends with Nate, and they were
Yeah.
filming in they were filming here in Sydney. A
Oh
film.
my gosh. Mr. Monk Down Under.
Mr. Monk Down Under. Imagine
Yeah.
if that's what they were filming.
God, I hope we
Hello.
don't break the story. Oh my gosh.
But how wild, like to see like someone like of his level, and they were babe so American, like giving everything. 'Cause
Oh
Aussie
my
audiences are a bit like
gosh.
this. Sometimes they're like this, and he was a bit more like this. Wow, and they like stood up at the end because it was the people.
They gave you a standing ovation. Wow, wow,
And they
wow.
said they really liked it, but I just had to tell
Now
you,
I don't believe this story.
I feel like I have the voice recording, so like you have to believe it.
I'm hearing people standing up.
Yeah, you're like I can hear Tony in the crowd.
Oh my God, is that Mr. Monk laughing?
had to tell you-
There's a guy laughing while applying hand sanitizer. I think it's Tony Shalhoub.
But I had to tell you that because I was like, it's so wild when
That's
like, people that
fucking
you
crazy.
love and
Yeah.
like actors and stuff see you, like
Yeah.
you, like the director of Red Dog seeing you perform,
Oh yeah.
and George Miller.
Oh my
You've
gosh.
interviewed some of the greats though as well.
Oh, Elouise Eftos amongst them.
I can't believe for one day when you're going to do like, and remember when we had Elouise
I thought
Eftos
she
on?
was here. Can you believe it? Oh my God.
Weekly.
We're going to go into your weekly choices
God, we're
right
gonna
now.
do it?
We're going to
Okay.
move into your weekly choices.
Wow, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too because you have got a couple of winners
Babe,
here.
do you know how hard this was for me? I think we need
I
to
know
tell
how
the
hard it
listeners,
was,
It was one of the
yes.
hardest things. I also was still sending.
Yeah, until
Like an
15
hour
minutes
ago.
ago. Eloise was going, oh, I just thought of another movie that I really like.
I feel like I'm hopefully going to be invited back.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Because I have so many
My
movies.
fingers are crossed underneath the table.
This is me honestly being like,
Yeah.
if you don't invite me back, like I'm actually gonna.
She's going to ruin me.
I'm gonna ruin you.
That's what I've been showing how
because
what
we're
a
actually like
staunch
family.
feminist I
Do
am.
you know, realize we're like family.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
if you don't invite me,
We're of the same diaspora.
yeah, diaspora. So if you don't invite me,
It means little seeds.
yes,
Little seeds being planted across the world, and that's us.
that's us. So my first pick,
Slide them over to us, slide
I'm
them
gonna
over.
slide them over, and I'm gonna go. Can I please rent my weekly choice? Drop Dead Gorgeous, 1999.
Cult.
Wow. I would tell you this, one of the great cult comedies of all time.
Old comedies, one of the mockumentaries, one of the best mockumentaries of our time.
I'm holding it up in the wide. There we go.
Look at that.
Can I ask you, people, this is a movie that might not be on everybody's radar.
No.
Could you describe what this movie is?
So it's basically about a small town in Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Don't you know?
Of course, I do know.
Minnesota. It's called Mount Rose, Minnesota, and it is the small town, and it is basically about a beauty pageant that is being held. Miss Teen. It's
Miss
like Miss
Sarah Jane, Miss
Sarah,
Teen,
yeah, something like cosmetics.
Yeah.
Miss Teen pageant, and basically it goes from being like an innocent small town sort of pageant story to
Cutthroat,
murder and
this
deception
cutthroat, yeah.
and cutthroat, and also very much not your typical pageant. It's not your typical story. It's very much like quite absurd, quite dark.
It's from a director called Michael Patrick Jan.
Yes.
And he's probably best known as one of the cast members of The State, which
Yes.
is one of the great like 1990s alternative MTV comedy sketch shows. Like a lot of people from Stella, like they would go on to do like Wet Hot
Yeah.
American Summer. I'd say this is in the same kind of tone as Wet Hot American Summer.
Totally.
Where it's a little not quite absurd, but it's in a mockumentary form, but it's
Yeah.
not like grounded the way something like Spinal Tap is. Where
Totally.
it's like, oh, we're going really balls to the wall, making you feel like this.
It almost
thing.
doesn't feel like completely documentary-esque as Spinal Tap,
Yeah.
but or like Best in Show,
Yeah.
or we love
We
we
love-
love a
but
bit
I-
of Chris.
this-
We love a bit of Chris.
this is-
But there's something about this that's so like, especially for who it was targeted to.
Mm-hmm.
It was targeted to like teenage girls of the time, probably like the first mockumentary of its time, and it's so dark. It's like the topic, like they're talking about like anorexia. They're talking about like
It's a nasty movie.
It's nasty, like
why-
nasty,
really
nasty.
nasty. That's why I love this film. Is like its sense of humor is so dark and nasty, but because it's like about like this.
It's covered with
It's
this like
covered with
sprinkle of like this
glam.
like glitter and glitz and glam.
Yeah, it's just like a really unique tone that it strikes, and far out, this might have the best cast.
Oh, the cast is incredible.
Insane.
I'm so glad that because I was like, I can't. Thank God I remembered to think of it for this because
Thank
there's
God
something
you remembered
about,
to think about it
thank
for
God.
this. Thank God.
Well, buddy, babe, I have a list. I sent Alexia a list. There is something about this cast, like Kirsten Dunst. It was one of her like. This was just before Bring It On and
Yeah.
just after Virgin Suicides. She's God, I love her so much. Like she like. Two of my favorite, like the fact that Virgin Suicides, Drop Dead Gorgeous, and Bring It On,
And
like
this.
what a bloody like
And it's
trilogy.
if you think
to
about
do.
like her in the 90s, there's also like Interview with a Vampire, and you
She
just go,
started off
what
with
the
that.
hell?
She was a baby. doing that.
Jumanji, for goodness sake.
Jumanji, it was insane. And then the fact that you've got Denise Richards coming off Wild Things.
Oh my
another
God.
amazing,
Another great film.
Fuck that movie.
Wild
I
Things is so funny.
it's
Such
so,
a
one
funny
of the funniest
movie.
movies in like, and I love that they play it so serious. It's one
So
of the
serious.
best.
I think what this cast has is, and you nail with Kirsten Dunst because she is not a comedic actress.
No.
But she can access comedy really nicely.
She does it so nicely and almost so genuine, and her character's so sweet. It's
So
almost like
sweet.
the way that she, like, you just want her to win
Mm-hmm.
and you just want her to be okay. And then you look at also, like, you've got Brittany Murphy, you've got Amy Adams. Like,
Yeah.
Amy Adams is like the ditzy cheerleader, one of my favorite performances.
Magnificent.
Incredible. Every time she goes, I'm the Washington Monument, and like the boyfriend in the crowd's going like, oh yeah. It's like
Yeah.
literally kills me.
It's a sensational cast because there's all these layers of people. Like Brittany Murphy is like a comedic genius.
She's
an
incredible. I miss her
comedic
so much.
actor.
She for me, like watching this, I feel like it's almost like one of the movies that made me want to be an actor. Like that sounds so silly to say that,
No.
but there's something about this movie where it's like, it's so like, it's like a little bit heightened, or like it's so much character, and everyone had their little storyline. And I was like, oh, you could play that character, or you could be like, everyone's got like such a strong, I don't know, like little background.
It is what you say because all these like multi-textured performances where there's
Yes.
some that are purely a sketch character.
Yes.
They're one note being, but that adds like interesting notes to the tapestry of what this film does.
Totally.
But it's all these powerhouse female comedic performers
Yes.
and then incredible actors like interspersed with each
Totally.
other. Like Kirstie Alley is like an incredible
God.
comedic performer.
I really think that she, in this, is one of her best films. She's
Absolutely.
so good in it. She's
Absolutely.
so evil in it. And then what's her name? She's in Austin Powers as well. Oh my God, I've just blanked
Oh,
her name.
Mindy
You know who I
Sterling.
mean.
Mindy
Yes,
Sterling, Frau
incredible.
Farbissina from Austin
And then
Powers.
Alison Janney, babe. How
Allison,
could I forget?
that's it.
I'm
Allison
obsessed with
Janney.
her.
And
That
she's
in this-
she's this.
That for me, again, I feel like even Alexi, the accents,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that like, I guess coming from the dance world, like it is very similar to pageant. There was something about me at that age when I found this movie, because also it would be on TV quite a bit.
Mm.
And it was like this movie, Miss Congeniality, Beautiful with Minnie Driver. There was something about like pageant films I was like obsessed with. I don't know if it was just like the covers. Something about like 90s like videos. Like when you go to the videos, Strangers with Candy.
I love
you've
Strangers
got
with Candy.
Jawbreaker. You've
Yeah.
got like all these like probably movies I was probably too young to watch. And then even all the cheerleader movies, like Bring It On, Sugar and Spice. Like, you know, it was like Sugar
But
and
I'm a
Spice.
cheerleader, all these things.
But I'm a cheerleader.
Even Brady Bunch, like these.
Brady Bunch. Oh my God, the Brady Bunch movie, one of my favorites as well.
But it was all these films that are like films probably for younger female audience that are just like, hey, we've got like big, broad, brassy comedies for young women that like I really can't get over this cast because it's like
It's incredible.
It's the way that they have that's why I rewatched this
and they
again
also
the
don't,
other
and
night.
what's it called? They don't. It's like they've all got their little moment, like as in there's no one. It's not like they're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like they're so strong. All of them are so strong at what they're doing, but they're so well cast. Like
so
it's
well
incredible.
cast. Like Ellen Barkin and Alison Janney.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and then with Kirsten Dunst playing Ellen Barkin's daughter. Alison Janney's her best friend or sister or something
my
like that.
God, yeah.
But it's like this perfect group of three where you can just see their dynamic. And because in that doco style, it's like you get glimpses into their private life and like how they are
amazing.
together. But then it's so heightened. Like Ellen Barkin almost dies in a
Yeah.
freaking trailer park fire.
my
And she gets
God.
her beer can fused to her hand.
It's
And so she's
insane.
got a beer can fused to her hand for half of the movie, then a hook for the rest of the movie.
And that's also like it's so ridiculous. Like that's what I mean. It's like it's quite dark. Like it's quite dark as
Really
well. Like
dark.
the way that they like treat Amber Atkins, like Kirsten's character, and the way that like it's setting her up for failure. Like the way that like Denise, like the swan blowing up. Like
Oh my
all these
gosh.
things. Like it's visually so funny as well. Like visually, it's hilarious. Like even the whole like. Can't take my eyes off of you, like the Jesus, and like even the I'm Mount Rushmore, because if you can,
if you could,
anywhere you can carve
an
like
ugly bounce and you can carve
carve-
someone's head into it. It's like so good.
It's so good. I find it funny that it's like I don't know. I think for the time, it's like it was clearly for teenage or like I don't think the reviews were that well.
No, not really. And
Were
it's
that
a
good,
true
sorry.
cult film. It's a
Yeah.
true cult film.
Because it got so much popularity like a bit later on. I remember looking for this and I found it on DVD. So to have
Yeah.
for you to have that, I found it at like a record store
Yeah.
in Newtown, and I was like, oh my God, it was like I found gold.
I know, truly, because
like
it was
I found
on.
gold.
It has been on nothing for a long
No
time.
streaming. Even the who's the writer again? She's in the film as well. She plays one of the judges.
The writer is Lona Williams.
Yeah,
who
she's incredible.
She also is the writer of Sugar and Spice.
She wrote. I knew it.
She
I
wrote
forgot
Sugar and
about
Spice,
that.
and she also wrote Shark Tale.
Wow.
And then she plays Jean Kangas, Judge 3 in this. Like everything
She
in
just
this.
says also, what about when she gets to the final?
It's so
and even
funny.
like the music's amazing in it as well. Like even the fact that like you've got like I mean I grew up doing like dance.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of comps, like that was a bit later on, but like, you've got these girls like tap dancing to like Elton John.
Yeah,
And, like,
they weren't because no one was competition for you, Eloise.
No,
It's just
they-
you were the star.
you always do the right thing, Alexi. You know what to say. But then there's something amazing, like even the fact that like they all get like food poisoning, they're
Yeah.
like vomiting, and like the music, and it's just like that thing of like middle America that like there's something about that that's like fascinating to me. Even that ad that's in it.
Yeah.
It's the woman with the sausages. That cracks me. It's like one of the funniest things I've ever
so
seen in a
funny.
movie. And even the guy going up to the camera going, yo, just like, beauty queens just like blowing chunks everywhere. It's like, it's amazing. It's so well done. I'm surprised that it like isn't as big as like I think it should be, or you think it should be.
I think it's because it just has been hard to see. Like in
I
this
think
modern
totally.
era of streaming, it's kind of disappeared. It truly was a video store favorite.
Yeah.
Like truly. The only reason we have this copy in front of us is because it's my
it's
girlfriend's
literally your
favorite movie.
girlfriend's favorite movie, and I
She
was going,
has
she's got amazing taste.
amazing taste. So we got like she
Love
got
it.
10 DVDs. This is one of them.
It's honestly one of the best. Like, and when you watch it, it's like, God, there's so many. Like the fact that Amber is like a embalmer, and she's like working and then the guy she has a crush on gets like
He gets killed,
and
she
then
has to-
she's going, oh well, that's just what happens. It's like, what
so
the hell?
nonchalant. He was killed in a hunting accident, being shot in the head, and she
Oh
has to
my
like
God.
operate on him, make him look normal.
It's just so funny. Even the idea of like what a small town girl just like dreams of being like Diane Sawyer. It's like, it's so, I don't know. It's almost like a little bit as a actor performer. It's like quite relatable. Like that almost do whatever you can. It's like she makes it through despite everyone being against her. Like, yeah, it's an incredible movie as a mockumentary style as well.
In that mockumentary style, and it's nice that it uses an easy touch to the mockumentary. It just gives it a nice texture and a nice storytelling style. I love that you said that this was one of the films that made you want to become an actor.
Yeah.
And I love that you called out instantly Amy Adams as being a key performance in it, because
So good.
when I watched this movie, I had that in mind.
Yes.
And Amy Adams' character in different hands would be a one-note sketch character.
Yes.
But Amy Adams plays the actual reality of this person
She's
at the right
incredible.
moments.
Yeah, it's incredible.
She is that person. She's so believable. She's so real.
I don't
but that's
for
what
a
adds to
second
the comedy.
think that she's acting. Like, that's what's so scarily good about it.
That's it.
Brittany
And-
Murphy, you're like, that's Brittany Murphy
That's
playing that
Brittany
role, but
Murphy.
she's still incredible. Like,
and
she's Brittany Murphy.
She works the best in the mockumentary tone, because you believe that's how someone like that would present to the camera.
And the way that she is, like, I feel like Brittany Murphy is like one of the reasons I wanted to be, especially in this movie, the way that she's
I think she's one of the greatest actors ever.
She's one of the best actors, incredible singer as well. A lot of people don't know that.
Don't know
Give her
that.
credit for that.
And I would say she's very Ariana Grande, Frankie J. Grande coded in this between her and her brother.
And even the fact that for me, one of the best things, and I think it's also like, I mean, she's a wog too. It's like that idea of like,
Whoa.
she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yes.
I'm going, did you know?
Yeah.
The fact that she's like, the way that she screams, he's gay. Like
Yeah.
the way that she yells, she's like, it's so.
It's like the audio peaks. Like, I don't think they got a clean recording
it's
of
the
it.
best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's
Even
so
the fact
funny.
that like Amy walks out and she's like, I won, and the boyfriend's
Yeah.
like, you came third. Like,
Yeah.
it's just the way that they're so believable. Even Kirsten Dunst, like honestly can't fault her in
Mm-hmm.
anything. She's incredible in everything she does. But this movie in comedy, even Denise Richards, babe, there's something about Denise doing comedy, and I'm like, she should have done more comedy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I guess she did.
She did, and it's,
But like in this style, it was so
in this
like
style.
she's like winking at the camera the whole time. She's like, I always bring her chocolates, and
Yeah.
she's like, it's so almost like dead. It's not
Very,
deadpan.
it's like
but
a straight delivery. Very straight delivery.
She's like the straight man in
Yeah.
it. It's incredible, straight woman, if you want to say.
And I dare not, because I don't believe in gendering terms.
I'm glad.
That's why I always say
This is a good
straight
podcast.
person. They're a straight person.
But how like she, especially even like her shoot, like with the gun,
Yeah.
she's just like, oh my god! It literally, that honestly did make me want to be an actor.
Yes.
Especially the accents, the way they do it, it's just incredible.
I'm so glad you picked this one up, because
I'm
I've
so
been
glad I
dying to
did
talk about this
too.
film. I love this movie. It's so funny. We could probably talk about it for a few hours.
We probably
but
could, but we probably should do the
We're
next
going
one.
to have to move on to.
Oh, no.
Oh gosh, the
God, it's
riches
a good
continue
one.
though. The riches continue.
I've also chosen Bend It Like Beckham.
Comedy.
This,
Grinda Charter.
By Grinda Charter. This is one of those movies that I was obsessed with growing up.
Babe, I watched this when I got the copy of this. I think it was like for Christmas.
Wow. Happy
I would
Christmas, by the
watch
way.
it. Thank you. Happy Christmas to you too. I would watch it over and over and over. My first, not first CD, I got the soundtrack. That's how obsessed I was. And I was so obsessed with the soundtrack.
With Victoria Beckham.
Victoria Beckham's on
Mel
it.
C's on
You've
it.
got Mel C on it. You've got two of the Spice Girls on it. You've also got...
No, Jerry. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, Jerry. Sorry, baby. Sorry, Scary. But you've also got Basement Jaxx. The first album I ever bought was Basement Jaxx's Rooty because at like
We're
10 years
unlocking a lot of
old,
secrets into who you
babe,
are.
for a 10-year-old girl to buy Basement Jaxx's Rooty because Do Your Thing wasn't on the
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Wow.
And I was so obsessed
I
with
gotta
that
hear
montage.
Do Your Thing.
And then also, Move On Up, Curtis Mate. You got Texas,
my
Inner
God.
Smile. It
Yes.
is literally one of the best soundtracks. Also, the Indian music.
Yeah.
Alexi, not only did I start playing soccer after seeing this movie, or football, whatever you want to say. Footy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I also became, I don't know if this is really bad to admit, I became obsessed with Indian culture.
Okay.
So obsessed that I was like, I have to go to India. I became obsessed with Bollywood film. I would listen to
God.
the music on the soundtrack. There's incredible music, by these incredible Indian artists.
Yes.
And I became infatuated
Wow.
Obsessed.
And the movie that Garina Chatterjee mixed right after this is
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
One of my favorite movies as well.
Which also unlocked, unlocked for a new generation Bollywood films.
That was her Bollywood movie, basically.
Yeah.
And before this, did she do was it Bombay? Was it?
It's a movie. It's not a very well known movie, and I've not seen it.
It's called Bombay.
It's called
Bombay.
I remember
watching it years ago. I found a copy of it.
It's called Baji on the Beach.
Baji on the Beach.
Yeah,
that's what
Baji
it
on
is.
the Beach.
Sorry, I had the B in my head.
No, you had it wrong.
About
you got it wrong.
You got it wrong. I'm going no. There's something about Bend It Like Beckham. The way that it's one of the most amazing movies. It's so funny, quite British, incredible mix of cultures. The performances are amazing. That was the first time I think I'd seen Keira Knightley.
Oh my God. And what a
Incredible
Star
in
is
it.
Born moment.
Star is Born moment. Obviously, is it Parminder? Is that how you say it, Parminder?
Yeah.
She's incredible in it. That's her breakout performance
Yeah,
as
Parminder
well.
Nagra. It's her second film, I think.
Is it her second film?
Yeah,
I
second
thought that was
film.
her breakout film, but
Yeah.
she is so great. Also, I'm obsessed. I literally became obsessed with acting in this movie as well because of Archie Punjabi.
Whoa.
She's one of the best character actors. One of the
Yes.
best actors, I think, of the last few
Wow.
years. She is incredible, so good. Also, the two actors that play the parents of Jess Minder's character and the parents of Keira Knightley's character, of Jules's character, they're so funny. They're so funny.
Incredible. The father's played by Anupam Kher.
Who's a huge Bollywood
Huge
actor.
Bollywood
big
star.
Also plays the father in Bride and Prejudice.
And he's also in Silver Linings Playbook. He's also
Another
in The
amazing
Big
movie.
Sick. He's in The Big Sick as
I
well.
had Silver Linings Playbook. I love David O. Russell films. That was also on my list.
Oh, I do love David O. Russell.
How can we not? But
I know, no.
But there's
He makes it tough.
Also, Jonathan Rhys
Jonathan
Meyers.
Rhys-Meyers.
As 10, 11 years old watching
my
and going,
God.
oh my God, who's that?
That was
Obsessed with
very
him.
much me too. I have never gone back to this movie since my adolescence because
Yeah.
it meant so much to me, and I'm worried about
Are
going back.
you worried about going back?
I'm worried about going
I
back.
watch it over. I will watch it again. It's almost
I've
like a
got this
comfort
Blu-ray
movie.
and I still haven't watched it. Got this Blu-ray.
Which is you know what? I understand what you're saying because there's a few films that are like that. I
Yeah.
just watched Suddenly 30 the other night.
Oh my
and
gosh,
I was
Mark Ruffalo,
bawling
Jennifer Garner.
I was bawling my eyes out and it was almost too much, but I
Yeah.
watched it and I loved it. But I was like, oh my God, this means something different now to me.
That's what I worry about.
and
I'm
that's
going to be
what's
watching it
hard.
relating to the parents. I'm not ready to do that
I know
yet.
what you mean, but
Yeah.
there is something about it is very nostalgic for me, this movie. The fact that I would watch my dad play soccer indoor. I would watch him play all the time. And I played a bit of netball. I was a dancer, so I was dancing and stuff. And then I was like, I have to play football. I have to play soccer. There was something about it was girls can do anything. This movie changed
Yeah.
so much of my
It changed chick culture, man.
it changed it. It actually changed it.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was I don't know, just marketed in a way of I don't know, it was for young women, but it wasn't I don't know. It was also about culture. It was also about fitting in. I think there was also probably as
as diasporics.
Diasporics.
Yeah.
For us, it was also. I found a lot of similarities with this movie and My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Absolutely.
It's very, very.
Because it's all about that clash of culture, where
And
it's a traditional
relatable.
culture meeting a Western culture,
Totally.
and the relationship between them. A young person trying to navigate them.
Totally.
I really love this movie. I feel the exact same way you do about it, where you're just watching, going oh, okay, I do understand where this character comes from.
Yeah.
And it's of that same kind of era as Looking for Alla Brandi, one of my other favorite movies.
Another amazing. Oh,
And
that's
it's-
such a good movie.
This is the one that I'm I've always been worried about going back to it because I was just truly obsessed. I used to draw pictures of this movie.
Oh my God, of course.
Because I was probably 10 or 11 when it came out.
We're the same age.
I think we're the same age.
92.
I'm 91.
Okay, just
but I'm
so
going
you-
to cut that out of the podcast so people don't know. We're going to bleep those.
Okay,
Yeah, we're bleeping those.
No, that's bleep it.
But I was I remember just drawing pictures going oh, I want to make this movie. I
How
want to be
amazing.
like this.
I love that you were that was your feeling.
Oh
For me,
my
it was
God.
not only the performances, but it was the way that they filmed the football, the way they filmed the games, the music,
Yes.
the way they had oh my God, it's so the wedding mixed with the final game. It's so exciting. It's so satisfying to
And the
watch.
stakes feel really high. And I think
Oh my
movies about
God.
young people teen movies, the stakes always do feel really high because when you're a young person, you feel like everything's life or death.
Absolutely.
Like it's like, oh, any mistake I make could have ramifications.
Totally.
And this is a film that really captures that, and it's about those feelings of finding your place in the world for the first time and who you should be and who you'll be for the rest of your life. It's just this great young cast that are able to like really nail all of that. And I think probably same thing for you and I, seeing it when you're younger than the characters. This was such a cool glimpse into teenage life.
It was almost like, is this going to be what life is going to be
when
like?
they go to that nightclub, I'm like, that is
crazy.
When and Keira Knightley's outfit, that top, that
Did you
glow
freak
match.
out?
I freaked out.
I was going, I need to wear that top.
It's like that classic going out top.
Oh my God.
She's got that going out top and then like a leather pants.
Yeah, going out top, leather pants. She looks fucking amazing.
Unbelievable.
Dancing with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. He's so hot.
To me, that's like one of the iconic film costumes. Like if you put them together without the head on, I'd still go, I know that's Keira Knightley.
Exactly, that's Keira Knightley. It's like, that was the moment.
That was it. That was the moment.
And there's also like, God, there was also someone, like I loved that, like, is it Shaznay? Is that her name? She plays Mel. She was from All Saints, the band. And I just loved that she was in it. And it was just, I don't know, that was kind of exciting as well. I was like, I used to love All Saints. I used to love the Spice Girls, that their music was in it. Even
it was the British invasion of our era, dude.
It literally was. And you think about like even, again, the music's incredible, but like even those scenes where they would like go to the pub and they're like buying the shoes and then getting in trouble. And it was, I can't. And also it's kind of like it is a little bit PG. There's some like cheeky,
but it's pushing that PG in a really,
which I really kind of look back and I go, oh, but I kind of like love that.
I love that too because I think teen movies should be doing that. There should be ways to introduce people into that world.
Absolutely.
And I want to tell you something so you don't feel alone in this world.
Yes.
My older cousin, Christina, she was also obsessed with this movie.
Yes.
And she was obsessed with Pride and Prejudice. It unlocked Bollywood culture for her too. So it's another Greek person in the world that was so obsessed with Bollywood culture. She learned Hindi.
Did she actually learn Hindi?
She learned Hindi back then.
Oh my God, she actually did way more than me.
And she did probably a lot more than you. That I will make fun of her for this for the rest of our lives.
What?
She went to her formal in a sari.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that.
Went to formal in a sari and definitely had quite a heavy fake tan on for the look as well. Quite a heavy fake tan.
I'm almost going, get it, girl. She really went all out. I think that I didn't go that far. I'm almost going.
That makes you feel a little bit better, perhaps.
I feel a little bit better, but I did go to India with my dad in 2011, and we went to a wedding, and I wore a sari as like a guest, but they were very, into that. No fake tan for me, unfortunately.
Well, fortunately, the photos live forever of those ones. But we used to have them quite prominently in the houses, but now we've got different photos of her.
But I'm honest, but this is me. I get you, babe. I get you.
Absolutely.
I totally understand. This was like, I think after seeing this and seeing, like, I would like be dancing. Like, I wanted to dance, like Bollywood. I remember watching like Devdas not long after that. Like, I got really obsessed with, obviously after Bride and Prejudice, Aishwarya Rai, and I was like, she
was a megastar back
then.
In every world, she was a megastar.
She is absolutely stunning. Like, even just like the way that, it was that introduction into such a beautiful culture and like, especially like, because they're Punjabi. So like, even me knowing that, Sasri Kaji, wow. See, I actually was so obsessed. And then I find it really embarrassing that every time I meet someone who's Indian, I'm like,
wow, have you seen Ben like Beckham? By the way, I love Ben like Beckham.
By the way, I love Ben like Beckham. They're going, we really don't care. But I'm going, you don't understand. Like, even after that, I remember watching Monsoon Wedding not long after. Another movie that was incredible. And just like, of such a beautiful culture. And just... one of the best coming of age movies, I think, as well. And just such an incredible time where Beckham wasn't even, what was the deal with like, I don't even think that Beckham was like playing. I mean, it was probably like towards the end of his.
Hey, I'm not a sports nerd. I can't tell you.
I'm a bit sports nerd. A little.
She knows.
I got
obsessed. Nerd of everything.
I got obsessed. My dad was a big Man United fan, whereas I kind of was like.
I grew up around women. They didn't know this stuff. I had a single mother and a yaya growing up, so they weren't into sports.
Well, see, my
That's
dad.
all into the finer things like arts and movies.
Yeah, of course. I'm going, yeah, we had a bit of that too. No, but like me being obsessed with soccer Dad was obsessed with Man United, so I knew who Beckham was. And I was like, even seeing him at the end with Posh in the movie, like, it was just like a bit of that time, that era.
It's a capsule, dude.
It's a capsule.
Yeah, I mainly knew him as Posh's husband.
Totally. Well,
mainly that's how I knew
what
him.
I first knew him as that.
Those purple suits from their wedding, I know that.
God, how
that's
good
what
was
I knew.
that? But also, I think also it was at a time where like, that was probably, I don't know, I could be wrong, I'm trying to remember, but that might have also been at the time where like, just after he got a lot of hate for missing like the penalties and stuff in the final. It was like, have you seen the doco? God, it's amazing.
God, England will never forgive him.
England will never forgive him.
Can I tell you what the craziest fact I found out about this movie?
I am really excited because I also know I always love reading the trivia, and I'm almost going.
Fact.
Do I already?
You
know
might
this?
know this one because this blew my mind.
But I'm excited.
To mark the 10th anniversary of North Korea's relations with the United Kingdom, an edited version of Bend It Like Beckham was broadcast on the North Korean state television network on the 26th of December 2010, Boxing Day.
You're
the
joking.
British ambassador to South Korea, Martin Uden, said it was the first ever Western-made film to air on television in North Korea.
I did not know that.
Isn't
That's
that
crazy. Also, good choice.
Good choice.
What did they edit out?
They cut out 8 minutes of the film, and I'm guessing you'll probably do a lot of stuff with
the
sex,
sexy
religion, queer identities.
True.
I think a lot of that stuff.
That was one of the first movies I think that I watched where it was, you know, there was
They're
a gay character.
They said the words gay.
They said the words gay. They even spoke about like being gay and
If
the fact
this
that they're
came out
lesbians.
now, they would be lesbians.
Oh, they would be.
They
yeah,
would be
yeah.
lesbians.
And I think there's a lot of people that
And
go
that's
like,
the
that was
version
what
they
it was
should
supposed
air
to-
in North Korea.
Well, yeah, you know what they should.
Yeah.
God, that's good. No, I like that.
Yeah.
No, I find it interesting that a lot of people are like, did you know the original script, they were supposed to be a couple? That's not true. But I do see like, because of the culture.
Yes.
It would be amazing if they made a sequel and it was...
And they go, actually, we were gay back then.
Well, like if they
Yeah.
made a sequel and they made it a gay couple or
Yeah.
like made it a bit more... Because I know that there's a big lesbian community that plays
There's a
plays
big
soccer.
lesbian community.
There's
Oh,
actually-
sorry, that plays soccer. I thought you just meant
That
that.
also plays soccer.
Oh, okay, that's big
That
too.
plays sport. No, there's also gay rights.
She said it.
I said it. No
she
one's
said
saying
gay
that.
rights. She said it.
Gay rights. But that's incredible that they played that movie.
Isn't it crazy?
That's crazy.
Crazy. Good on you, North Korea.
Good on you, North Korea.
Don't use that out of
You know what?
context,
That-
please. Please don't use that out of us
Someone's
saying
cutting that out.
Oh, God.
I'm going, oh no, people are going to think we're like Dennis Rodman.
Oh, my God. Hey, not a bad gig.
Hey,
We'd
not a
do
bad
it.
gig. We'd do
Elouise
it.
and I would do it.
Staff pick.
All right. Well, we've come to that time of the show where I shall give you a bespoke customized recommendation based on your taste.
Oh my God, I'm
a
so
staff
excited.
pick, if you will, darling.
Thank you, Dali.
And I love that you kept on saying how much you loved pageant movies.
Yeah.
And so I want to give you something in that space.
Okay.
And this is a movie that was pretty much forgotten until recently, a 1970s satirical comedy. Pretty much forgotten until it was recently reawakened and restored.
Was it restored?
It's restored. It is from Michael Ritchie. It's a movie called Smile.
Babe. Can I be honest? I have wanted to see this for so
Mm-hmm.
long.
Comedy.
And the fact that you've suggested this is like, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I need to watch this. Because this is basically what people said was the...
Kind of like a dry run for Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Drop Dead Gorgeous. And they say that like, look at even the, like, look at, also, I love the 70s. Like the era, it's alone.
It's a great 70s movie. Let me tell you about it. It's time
Mm-hmm.
again for California's Young American Miss Beauty pageant, the biggest event of the year for Big Bob Freelander, played by the incredible Bruce Stern and Brenda DiCarlo, who's best known as Agent 99
My
in
favorite.
Get Smart.
Babe, don't I want it to be Agent 99.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
look
course.
at my hair.
Who give their all to put on a successful pageant, but Brenda is having marital difficulties and Bob's son is up to some mischief. He's perving on the chicks.
What?
Could this year's pageant be in jeopardy? And I'd say this with cinematography from the master Conrad L. Hall, who's one of the all-timers of capturing cinematic language. It's one of the most beautifully shot comedies you'll ever see.
Oh, I need to see this.
Yeah, it's really,
God, I've been wanting
really
to see this for so long.
fantastic.
When you said it, I was going, because I know that a lot of people compared Drop Dead Gorgeous to Smile,
Mm.
and they sort of said it wasn't as good.
I don't know. Like I Drop Dead Gorgeous is just hysterical. It's so funny.
It's almost like out there funny. I don't know, like as in like almost like, I don't want to say absurdist. It's like it's
it's
almost
in
like
the area.
ridiculous-y.
Like it goes to a bigger, broader place.
Totally.
Smile is a bit more in the satirical sense. Like it's definitely satirizing like capitalist 1970s America and like the misogyny of that time and stuff. And
Which also for the time, I'm like, good on them for like even putting this. Like, even,
Truly.
oh my God, I'm going Melanie Griffith's in it.
young Melanie Griffith, Bruce Dern, Barbara Feldon, who we just said.
Yes.
And then there's someone in this movie that the first time I saw it, I kept on seeing him and go, who is this guy? This guy's so
Who is
familiar.
this guy?
He plays like a young teenage or like early 20s janitor.
Oh my
and
God.
I just kept on recognizing him. Who is this guy? He's Dennis Duggan, Adam Sandler's director.
You're joking.
He did Mr. D. He did Big Daddy.
Oh my God,
He
yeah.
did Grown Ups. He
You're
did Happy
joking.
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, so he's
God, he's
in it. He's like a young actor in it.
That's crazy. Also,
Yeah.
look at that. Beautiful.
Beautiful cover. This is from Fun
Beautiful.
City Editions, this version.
Oh my God.
And they did a beautiful restoration on it. It's been really hard to find for a long
love
time.
This. Raised on hamburgers and soda pop. She's got a winning smile that's hard to top.
Mm.
A credit to her family, the ideal teen. She's all America's daughter. She's a beauty queen.
Yeah, beautiful.
There's something about the beauty queen. I don't know what it is. It's probably a bit toxic of me.
Probably.
But there's something
But you
about
love the patriarchy.
I actually love it.
Yeah.
Don't use that out of the context. But also there's something about the pageant.
Yeah.
Pageant movies. I think because they are so like, it's almost like ridiculous what they are. So when people satirize it, it's even funnier.
Exactly. I think between these two, that would be a great double bill of Drop Dead Gorgeous and Smile.
Totally.
Because you can see the relationship between the two films, but the way that they access their comedy is so different.
Okay, that's so good to know because I'm like going.
You will love it. I'm sure you will love it. It's like way less broad, way less I would say one thing about Michael Ritchie as well.
Yes.
He
What else
is.
is Michael Ritchie? What else is
He's
he
got a
directed?
great career. This is not even in his top films,
Yeah, because
really.
I'm trying to think of like why. I know the name, obviously.
Fletch, the original Fletch of Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Bad News Bears, one of the great
Yes,
teen comedies.
of course.
The Golden Child of Eddie Murphy, not that good movie, but I like
okay.
it. The Candidate, which is political satire starring Robert Redford of this time, and another Robert Redford film called Downhill Racer.
Okay.
And both of those films he employs a bit of a verite style to communicate to the
that.
audience. So there's little touches of that like documentary-esque without it being a mockumentary film
Okay.
that kind of finds some of that authenticity.
Wild.
So it's a really cool film.
Oh my
I
God,
think you'll
love
really
that.
dig it.
Oh, I already am. I'm already going, cool.
Wow.
My Thursday night's sorted.
Wow, the first cool.
Yeah.
The first
I'm going,
cool we've had on the podcast.
Cool. No, more than cool. Incredible.
Certified Elouise cool.
Hey.
Hello.
For a big nerd. Pretty cool from a big nerd.
Wow,
to
from a
say
big
that.
nerd. And you're one of the biggest nerds around.
Yeah, people don't say that enough.
Well, Elouise, thank you so much for coming into the store, picking up some
you.
movies, just hanging out with me, talking about some
Oh,
movies.
please.
We're
Can you
talking about
please
our
have me
diaspora.
back, please?
Okay, she's
Alexia,
coming
I have too many films
She has
to
too many
talk about.
films.
I literally was panicking.
She was wandering the aisles for 7 hours
Wandering
picking
the aisles,
movies.
I'm going,
She's writing a list
do I
out.
do David or Russell? Do I do, babe, Hot
Wow.
Fuzz I was talking
Hot
about.
Fuzz. She's
I'm
thinking
talking
about Hot
Showgirls.
Fuzz. She's
I'm
talking
going,
about
If you
Showgirls.
let anyone else rent Showgirls before me, I'm going to fucking lose
Wow.
it, you, Alexi.
Okay, what if they're really famous? What if it's a really famous person talking about
Can I be
Showgirls?
honest? If anyone's famous and they're talking about Showgirls, that's a lie. I don't think anyone is talking about it except me. And I'm going to be really famous, so just remember that. Why am I threatening you on your own
Fuck.
podcast? I kind of like it, though. I kind of like it. but
Wow,
I'm like,
I like this threatening thing.
I like it a bit. This is
I
a
kinda
bit of
like
a
it too. It
character. This is
scares
a bit
me.
of a character, Drop Dead Gorgeous
Wow,
character.
okay.
If you show your face at this pageant, if you show your face on Sunday, like that's the energy.
Yeah, wow.
You can see where the acting came from.
Oh, damn. We got to get you into one of these beauty pageant movies.
I would die. I would die.
Wow,
to be in
okay.
one.
Well, then let's not. I would hate for you to die. I would hate for you to die.
Silly.
The last video store.
So that was Elouise Eftos, a former video store clerk herself who jumped into the last video store this week. Let us go through her picks and another shout out to her Instagram where she posts so many funny clips. Weezer Squeezer, great Instagram handle. If you want to find the films that she talked about, you can watch Anatomy of a Fall on Stan right now. Drop Dead Gorgeous has been really hard to find for a long time, but right now you can watch it for free on SBS On Demand. And I demand that you watch it. It's such a funny film. Bend It Like Beckham. You can rent it. You can watch it on any VOD platform. And Smile, my recommendation unto her, is a bit of a rare one to find. Track it down, though. It's a great film. The Blu-ray from Fun City Editions, it's sensational. Then thank you so much for joining me on the show today. My respect to you, your friends, and anyone that celebrates film alongside me. Share the podcast. Let them know about it. Let your buddies know. All of those things. But I love you. I appreciate you. I love movies.